Hello and welcome to my 2006 Volvo V70R. In this video I will walk you around the outside of the car, the inside, and under the hood. And because it's a wagon, I'll subject you to a couple of dad jokes. It's weird, wagons don't really seem to resonate with non-car people, so check with your spouse before you bid. And then bid anyways, because worst case scenario, you could just sleep in the back of this one. In all seriousness though, you can see the outside is in excellent condition. This is a relatively low mileage, really well kept example. I will show you some of the small imperfections on the car in some direct sunlight coming up here. I think that the photos were a little bit difficult to convey some of the blemishes on the car, so we'll get right up close and take a look. All of the paintwork is original except for the front bumper here I recently had redone. There's no rust, no history of accidents at all in the car. Starting at the driver's side rear fender here, it looks like it's brushed up against something in the past. There's some paint blemish around the wheel arch, basically from the front to the back there. I've never had that looked at to see how much of it will buff out. And then this is the driver's side rear door. The headlights are glass, so no fading, but this side here has, it looks like a rock chip. You can't really feel it too much, but it's there. Doesn't leak blinker fluid, so it's never bothered me. As I say, I had the front bumper professionally repainted recently. The V70R and the S60R tend to suffer from what's called saggy lip, where the lower part of the lip here gets caught on a curb when parking, backing up, gets scraped, and is permanently deformed. So I had that fixed on this one, and then I put a aluminum bar on the inside, just as a lip lift, if you will. As you can see, they did a really good job on the color matching between the bumper and the fender and hood. The hood itself has a couple of defects. There's a small scratch there, and then just a couple of paint chips that I'll highlight here from what looks like some highway driving. This fender has the two scratches on the car. It looks like somebody's taken a stab at these with some touch-up paint in the past, but I think a professional detailer could probably do a better job of that. These are factory Volvo 18-inch Pegasus wheels. Apparently quite difficult to find, but the last owner of this car has a very large Swedish car collection full of Volvos and Saabs, so I know he probably didn't have a hard time finding them. The one on the rear here has seen a curb there and down there from parking, but the other three are pretty much perfect. Onto the inside, just ignore the dusty rubber floor mat there. I've got full set of the rubber mats you'll see in the photos, and the carpeted mats, as you see here, and the carpets underneath are like new condition. Pretty free of scratches or anything like that. There's a little bit of wear on this driver's side seat as I pan down here on the bolster. These controls on the right hand side of the steering wheel tie into the aftermarket head unit. Backup camera for avoiding small things. And this silly little cup holder, which actually works really well to hold your phone and listen to my favorite music. And of course the Volvo Rs have these beautiful blue gauges. The trip information on the left hand side here and the temperature on the right can be changed to Canadian units. I can do that if the car stays here. Here we are in the second row. There's a small indent on the center part of the seat that you might see there. Otherwise no wear and tear back here. The headlining is nice and clean, no sags, no stains. Here we are in the coveted third row. I normally keep the cargo mat and the cargo divider back here that you'll see in the photos. You could actually fit if you're 5'6" or less in these seats, so most kids, maybe your mother-in-law, but there is a weight rating, so the car is unmodified except for a Stage 1 tune from BSR. Stage 1 being about 50 horsepower and below a threshold at which you'd need to do anything like upgrade the cooling capacity or engine internals. The last owner is affiliated with BSR, so he hooked me up with that, and we installed that a couple of months ago. The car has a pretty complete dealer-maintained history in the Carfax dealer entries, a maintenance log that I've been keeping, and of course receipts over my ownership of the car. You can see the timing belt was done relatively recently, and I think the next thing would be at around 100,000 miles, things like the water pump and coils. And at some point it looks like a mouse has made its way under the hood here and taken some of this insulation for its home. But its main intent is for noise, not heat, so you get some added intake noise for free. And because this is bring a trailer, if somebody asks, the IMS bearing has been done. Obviously. Thank you for watching. I'll try and be as active as possible throughout the auction. If you have any questions, need to see anything else, I will do my best to get to those as quickly as possible. Other than that, happy bidding!